I'm Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings, and you're watching the best sports coverage on News OK.
Reviewing last week's game with Tulsa, I thought overall it was pleasing to play for the most part, well throughout the game. I thought anytime you can shut somebody out, and Tulsa's been putting up a lot of points and a lot of yards on everyone. I thought overall our defense did a pretty good job. There still were quite a few areas and some basic plays that we were out of position that we, from watching tape, feel we could have been, could have still been better. Some of the boot passes, some of the basic runs that were there. It was a little disappointing that we didn't play a little bit better, but that's something that we will continue to work on. But overall, came up with a bunch of pressures. We were on the quarterback really all night. I think we had 6 sacks and had a bunch of other times we had them in our grasp where they were forced to throw the ball away, and came up with turnovers. That kind of thing was really positive. Defensively, Jeremy Beal and Quentin Carter were kind of our players of the game. And then offensively, I thought we did a nice job running the ball and throwing it. Anytime you can rush for around 200 yards, that's a positive. And I thought we picked up all of their stunning and their 3-3 defense, all the different movements they were doing fairly well. Again, still could be better, but it was pleasing. A couple of guys that had good games were young guys. Ben Hayburn and Tyler Evans were kind of mentioned as having solid games. And then players of the game, obviously Landry Jones, he set a record with 6 TD passes, is pretty special, and had a couple of drops to go with it. But he had a really solid game, which we've come to expect now just in a short period of time, but he's handling everything really well. And then Brandon Caleb and Ryan Broyles, as far as receivers goes, came up with some big catches and big plays. And so those 3, along with Brody Eldridge, were recognized as players of the game. Brody had an outstanding game once again, just blocking and getting knockdowns and those kind of things. So solid day there. And then special teams-wise, again, it's overall pleasing. I thought, Matt Moreland, along with Keenan Clayton, were our special teams players of the game. Keenan had a bunch of tackles on kickoff covers, and Matt hit the ball well. Tress punted the ball, well. And anyway, so it was a solid day all around for the most part. Anyway, still there's still things we feel we could improve on. That leads us to this week with the bye week to really focus on, every area of what we're doing to get it sharper, to get better execution, to get extra work on Miami coming up. So, those are things that we'll look at here this week.
Al wants to know how Bradford looked yesterday.
Yeah, everybody, again, I'm not going to detail day to day. I'm a little disappointed our players had so much to say. Not that we're at all trying to be coy or anything that's behind the scenes outside of I don't want Sam to have to deal with the pressure of everybody's expectations, and because it's just not fair. The bottom line is it'll be day to day as he improves. I am sure as he goes forward, they'll give him more and more to do as the days come, and we'll just see how he handles it. It is just, again, too early to speculate. I'm not going to get into the speculation. And so, once he's comfortable and ready to play, I'll have something to say. And until then, I'm just not going to deal with it every day and don't want our players and team given percentages or he did this much and not that much, and then everybody gets to determine, well, that's enough to play or that isn't enough to play. I just don't want to do it, so I'm going to choose not to.
Do you have a formula in place for game week, when he needs to be ready to execute?
It's not game week. You can ask me that next week. Right now, this is where we're at.
Does he get to decide if he throws 10 yards, or is that the doctor say you can?
I'm not going to detail anymore.
What about Landry? He needs a certain number of reps as well, right?
Of course, and he's doing great right now. We had a great practice yesterday.
You had a great practice for Miami yesterday?
We had a great practice for a Monday practice and for the off week and working on Miami and the other teams coming forward.
This week, do you do more, get physical, or you kind of give them a break? I mean, throw in the season,
We'll treat it like a normal week where Tuesday and Wednesday are more physical days. And we'll go against each other a little bit longer, good on good, than we normally do. But we'll still get the extra work that we need, going forward with Miami.
Could you talk a little bit more about Ryan Broyles, just the way he started this year, maybe what his potential is?
Yes, it's been really exciting. You were asking about Ryan Broyles, just the big plays he continues to come up with. Some of his yards after catch and ability to get open and make big plays. He's been very competitive. And truthfully, maybe I think he was even a little disappointed in the first game that we felt he wasn't as competitive as he normally is, and he really has been the last couple of weeks, and is capable of being a big-time player every week if he'll maintain this level of intensity and concentration.
Bob, you have a great run at quarterback since you've been here at OU, and some of the best quarterbacks in the country, even though you've had different coordinators or quarterback coaches. Are there certain things that you pinpoint as a program that helps these quarterbacks outside of their natural talent, just developing them and bringing them along?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's fair to say we have managed them and handled them fairly well of always there being competition, not handing a guy something before it's earned, and I think just, I don't know. I think fortunately we have recruited those type of guys too that are competitive, don't want anything handed to them, don't expect you to give them anything, and want to earn their way. And it's the formula for the most part. From you look at our track record, is pretty strong. And and I think it starts from day one with Mike Leach, and then I think Chuck Long coming in, passing on along so much to Josh, having coached Josh and technique and footwork and those kind of things. I think fundamentally we're awfully strong in that position too. So it's just been overall it's been positive.
Bob, talking to Jeremy Beal yesterday, in his estimation, he said, "I'm not as talented as a lot of these guys out here, but I try to make up for it with an edge, and my edge is preparation." Does that kind of fit his profile?
It's pretty neat. I didn't know he had said that, but I would say talent-wise, he's not far off. If I don't know what he's watching, or he's just being humble, because he's pretty talented. He has such power, I think, is where maybe he's not giving himself enough credit talent-wise, is because of his strength and explosiveness in his legs and his hips. I think is why he is. It really benefits him getting around the corner, pressuring, taking on blocks. He is a really powerful guy for his size, and he does. He works hard mentally. He's tough. He's physical. I mean, he's everything you want. Believe me.
Pretty easy to notice McCoy in the middle of that line. What's Taylor giving you so far this season? He's
been very good. Adrian's been very active. Been very good at holding his position and creating plays, getting some penetration. He's been solid, but he was solid a year ago too. So he continues to play. He gets overshadowed a little just because of how special Gerald is. But Adrian's a good player.